This video is going to show you yet another solo GM, but this time with updated positions and strategies. I just want to showcase off one of the best void weapons in the game now, which is Deterministic Chaos. We're on an Arc Titan for bolt charge, single target damage. Again, I know, but I want to showcase Deterministic Chaos synergized with bolt charge and how good it is as a weapon. So to skip the starting section, you can come here and just scout the adds down. Let's talk about the scout a little bit. We're using destabilizing rounds and repulsor brace, a very good scout rifle. Look at your scouts and your bows for long range combat. For more medium range to close range, look at your void order rifles and start to strategize void weapons for this season. Because even though we're in an arc meta, we're kind of in an arc meta, but we're kind of in a meta for void weapons now. They are literally the best weapons you can use now, especially in GMs. So have a look in your vault at all the different types of weapons. It doesn't have to be a sidearm. It can be a bow. It can be a void pulse rifle. It can be a void order rifle. Think cleverly about all the void stuff that you've got in your vault. This is voucher for Dreaming City Scout. It's really good. I love this scout rifle. One of my favourite scout rifles in the game. I could have used a void bow as well. That would have done well. But I wanted to try this role in particular. And it worked out fantastic for overshields, etc. and bolt charge synergy. Right, this starting section, we are going to use a super here to try and basically clear out the room. But my only goal isn't to clear out every single ad. It's actually just to kill the 2 unstops. Now, I'm still using Crest of Alpha Lupi, because the reason being is because I believe still people are under level for this GM. So if you're under level for this GM, I highly recommend Crest of Alpha Lupi with this build, because you keep getting health regen when you pop a barricade. Plus, we're getting overshields. Look at the overshield we've got right now with the repulsor brace. So yeah, I highly recommend this build for under leveled people. However, what I was going to do, and what I'm going to do next week probably, is Peregrine Greaves. That would have been a far quicker run than this if I ran Peregrine Greaves, because I could 1KO all the champs. Or pretty much do that, yeah. I think I can 1KO them at my power. So your only goal there is to kill both unstops, right, as quickly as you can, really. And then now you're going to do the next skip. Alright, this is an updated strat, a skip. This is actually going to help you easily do the Tormentor section. Very easy. Follow the route on screen. I didn't get the exact routing down because I was too high there. But you want to follow the route on screen. And this is going to allow you to kill the turrets before the ads spawn in. This is a CP manipulation, a checkpoint manipulation. So look, turrets are up. Right, this is what you're going to do. You're going to grab the relic, bring it with you. And the relic is going to speed up this entire section. This allows you to juggle relic very easy. Generally, it's hard to juggle the relic. Not on this strat. It's an updated strategy. Take down the turrets with your scout or your machine gun or whatever you want. But the rule for juggling the relic is probably kill 2 ads, then pick up the relic. Kill 2 ads, pick up the relic, because it'll despawn, right? You need to juggle it. To spawn in the ads, go back to at the back side of the island. Boom, done. Ads spawn in. And what you're going to do now is just clear the ads from down below. It's probably easiest just to do it from here for now, because there's no threat. Look at this. You can just scout and machine gun all the ads down from underneath, right? The snipers aren't a problem. If they are, you've got cover to your left. Remember, you want to juggle the prism. That's why we're playing a little bit more passive, because we want to keep juggling that relic. Like I said, for every... I think the relic despawns after around 10 seconds. It's something like that. But look at that. Don't use the relic at all. You're going to save it entirely for DPS against the Tormentor. This will speed it up for you. So there's 2 things we've achieved here. We've give you a strat where you can juggle the relic easy, without any RNG stuff, without you having to pop a super or something like that. Because if you pop a super, you're not going to pick up the relic in time after your super's ended. Alright, that was the problem. But now, this is a strat to easily juggle the relic. This allows you to do more DPS to the Tormentor, but it doesn't just stop there. We've updated it even further than that, and I'm going to show you some updated positionings. So, clear out the rest of the ads until the Tormentor spawns in, which he hasn't spawned in yet. I hadn't cleared up the ads up top. I forgot about them. Right, there we go. We're going to clear them out. Use Tenacious if you want. Okay. just clear out the ads, basically, right? Once the Tormentor spawns in, though, not that it's critical, this strategy is really easy, all right? It's really, really easy. It's easier than any other way of doing it. Not the fastest way, no, but it's easy. And if you're under-leveled, this is an absolute strat. Look at this. We're going to go around the island to a very particular place, and this is the best place to DPS the Tormentor from. Look. Here we go. This will head glitch. We are head glitching the Tormentor now. Pop a barricade down, Crest of Alpha Lupi and Bolt Charge will give you health. There we go. Now it's cranium him on his shoulder pads. And then we're going to go for his middle crit. There we go. We took down his shoulder pads really quick. Now we're just going to expel the cranium. That'll get him nearly killed. Look at that damage we just did there. I think, I'm not 100%, but I think the cranium scales with your power level. Let me know if that's correct or not. Somebody else, maybe an expert mathematician, will know that. It looks like the cranium is scaling with your power level. So the higher your power level, the more damage the cranium does. I believe so. It looks to be the case. Now look at this damage we can do. We're going to get this Tormentor as weak as possible. We're going to keep popping barricades. And look, the Scout Rifle's doing massive damage because of Bolt Charge synergy. Look. This is simulating Lamanark gameplay in a sense, but we haven't got overload rounds. But we've got barrier rounds, though, because of the artifact, of course. Now, there's no champs in this, but... there's no barrier champs in this, but if there was, this build would be even better. I'm going to say it right now, but Deterministic Chaos is going to be a go-to weapon that you use in barrier GMs. Now, next week it will be barrier GMs. It'll be Heist Battleground Mars. I highly, highly recommend to you, on any class, really, Deterministic Chaos. This is going to be fantastic. I know that Tenacious Mastery is barrier as well, but it's not Void, is it? But it is Chill Clip, and Chill Clip does synergize with Bolt Charges. I'm just saying Deterministic Chaos is now one of the S+ weapons for GMs. It was last season, it is now. It's even better now. Right, look at this. We want to pop super and get a finisher kill on that unstop. Procs ward, procs. And we've then dealt with what we need to do. This also skips the second unstop. He won't spawn in now. You will still get plat rank. Then, look, we are DPS extraordinaire. We go back to our position, get a barricade down, look at where we, Crest Alpha Lupi saves us in a sense, and then look, back to DPS. So this is the Flower Strat DPS rotation exhibit A. He's confused by the flowers from the... Neo Moon of Flowers. He's looking at those while we're DPSing them. Really easy. This is going to be my go-to strat now every time we do this. Although I am getting a little burnt. Not burned, but I'm starting to get a little bored of this GM. This is my 6th solo Grandmaster since Tuesday, so that's probably my own fault. So I'm really like craving another GM now by this point. So yeah, I'm going to, sort of ease up on the GM and think about something else this weekend for D2 uploads. But yeah, like I say, that strategy there for the Tormentor is really good, really easy. It makes it all consistent. There's no RNG. You don't need to dodge the boss's attacks. You don't need to dodge nades. You don't need to clear the ads. You don't need to kill snipers, and so on and so forth. Right, now we have the worst RNG possible. We've got a pummel Centurion. Now Centurions are the most threat in this. They're the biggest threat, more threat than a champ. They're a bigger threat than bosses and all sorts. See, the problem with this bit is that the Centurion will keep doing his Void Blights. It's a danger. So what I'm going to do then is use Super, because this is going to do two things. It's going to kill the pummel, and it's also going to get us to an advantage point. Let me tell you a little bit about Unstoppable Champions. They have buffed them. Their shield is bigger. Alright, I haven't done this run. I can confidently tell you a better way to stun the unstops is with a fusion, not Tenacious. The reason being is because with Tenacious, it's harder to get the stun because you're relying on Chill Clip, and their damn shield is huge now. They've buffed them. So there's something going on with that. So I'm just saying that what I noticed with this run is that Riptide performs better on Unstoppable Champions, but Tenacious probably performs better on Overloads. So it's a bit of to and fro between the two weapon types. But what I will tell you, look at how big his shield is. They've buffed him. Look at how difficult it is now for me to stun his shield. Look. I mean, we do get the stun, but it's kind of annoying. I've got to really aim on the left-hand side where his gun's poking out to get that stop. I've just, honestly, it was noticeable with Riptide, but it's even more noticeable now. There's something odd with taking unstops. They buffed them, but it wasn't in the patch notes, was it? And I'm not the only one to say this. Why are they still buffing the chat? Although saying that, right, unstoppable taken champions are the weakest unstoppables of the bunch. Think about it. A Hive unstoppable ogre is far more dangerous than a taken unstop. So maybe it's justified the buff, but I think buffing them so that you can't stun them with a weapon isn't the way to go. What they should have done is maybe give them a new weapon that makes them more threatening. Buff their AI on aggression because they're an unstoppable champion. The identity of an unstoppable champion is to push you unrelenting to the point where you've got to burst them down. And these taken unstops have never been powerful. Never, ever since they were created. So I'm saying, yeah, buff them, but buff them in the right way. I think buffing their shield wasn't the answer. Alright, look. Scions left and right, mid, clear them first, then pick up Cranium, then melt all of the Blights. Unless you need ammo, then you don't need to clear out any of these ads. Make sure the 2 Minotaurs at the back are killed though. If they are not killed, you will not get their Cranium. Remember that. You need the Cranium for the next bit, unless you might die on the Sparrow. Right, look at this. Just tap fire the Cranium, you get more ammo usage out of it. Get used to tap firing that Cranium. We're going to loop all the way to the right so that we don't need to deal with the Scions at all. We're not wanting to deal with them. We're not interested in them. Like I say, look at my ammo. Let's talk about ammo efficiency. So, because of Dreadful Finisher, you get unlimited ammo with Tenacious Mastery. And the Deterministic Chaos holds 450 ammo, something like that. And it's very good on ammo economy. Now, it's got a low magazine size of 48. But there's no problem with it, and I'll tell you why there's no problem with the mag size. You just run Void Holster. Void Holster will save the day. It almost emulates auto-loading holster for Deterministic. Which that's what the catalyst should probably give. When they give you a catalyst for Deterministic, at some point in the future they will, give it auto-loading holster. And probably give it Vorpal Weapon as well. Give it more damage. Although I will say it's probably doing a lot of damage anyways without something like Vorpal. But if it did have Vorpal, it would really put it into the stratosphere of a meta weapon. It is a meta weapon for GMs, like I told you last season. I said it's a meta-defining weapon for barrier rounds, and it still is now. The only problem is I wanted a barrier GM, but they're not up. All I have is Hypernet to play with, but I still wanted to do a Hypernet solo this week. And probably will next week as well because there's barrier champs. But yeah, I'm just saying it, look, it's pretty much one of the best weapons in the game now for GM gameplay on a solo perspective. Alright, he's a bit of Tenacious Mastery doing very well. Remember, I haven't got Air Trigger here, I've got Impulse Amplifier. So there's a debate right now about, I'm just killing these champs with Craniums by the way, so let's just talk a bit about that, about the Tenacious Mastery. So with Tenacious Mastery, a lot of people say the God Roll is Air Trigger. I would argue it isn't. The God Roll is Impulse Amplifier Chill Clip. The reason being is because it's just the weapon feels a bit more responsive with Impulse Amplifier. And the Air Trigger is a non-factor on the reload because Impulse Amplifier gives you a good reload anyways. And not only that, if you even just run a Stasis Loader, you're going to feel like a good reload anyways. Now, Air Trigger has more ammo. You're going to get more ammo with it, but it doesn't matter because there's special ammo for free. And even if special ammo wasn't 3, you can easily just put on Special Finisher on your build, but you don't even need to do that. Dreadful Finisher will grant any weapon infinite special ammo this season when you play solo because all the champs and the powerful targets are for you to kill and you alone. This grants you ammo. Look at this. I'm on 24 for Tenacious Mastery. I'm recognising that I need to get a Special Finisher now. Well, I don't need to, but I'm going to. So I'm going to stun this Overload with a Pulse Grenade because of Spark of Shock. Always run Spark of Shock. So yeah, we're just going to kill. We're going to get him weak. And then we're going to finish. I want to pick up that Cranium, but it despawns. Look. Boom. See? That's the thing about juggling the Relic. That's why on the Tormentor phase, I recommended what you did. Kill 2 ads at a time, pick up Relic. Kill 2 ads at a time, pick up a Relic. That will help you juggle a Relic for Tormentor phase. Okay, so we're now on the bridge section. I'm going to just clear out these ads with the LMG and the Scout. Every single weapon I'm using here is performing perfectly. Now, Le Monarch is best in slot for this GM. The reason why it's best in slot is because it's got intrinsic overload rounds. But what I will tell you is that Le Monarch's not very good at DPS in the boss so much. Deterministic Chaos is like S+ for it. Why? Because the Hydra has a shield. Now, barrier rounds in particular will pierce that shield. If you run a Void primary like a Scout or a Bow, 2 or 3 crits will give you barrier rounds, allowing you to shoot through his shield. But Deterministic Chaos will do this anyways. Got it? That's what makes it so good. You're going to see for damage. I'm going to use a super here. Let's push up. Let's get rid of them. Let's showcase a bit of Fist of Havoc gameplay. Performing really good in this. I'm using it as a utility super for damage for ads. That's literally what we're doing here. We could use T-Crash, but I see no point in me using T-Crash. The simple reason is this. I'm not using Cruise to the Fallen Star. I have no T-Crash needs in this. So when we have no T-Crash needs as a player, we just run Fist of Havoc. Because Fist of Havoc has a whole host of benefits like super armor, good ad clear for critical moments where you otherwise would die. Anybody who's under-leveled in this GM should use Fist of Havoc, not T-Crash, because T-Crash will probably get you killed in the end. If you run this GM at 2025, you're probably going to die more frequently if you do not have a Roman super. That is absolute definite. Alright, so we're going to use a bit of chill clip here. I was going to try and cranium, but my cranium despawns, but that's fine. I was realising, oh, look at this chill clip bolt charge synergy. I didn't even need it. But it was a good little spot to DPS the overload there. We're going to go around to the next one. I'm going to jolt him with a pulse grenade. This is why you always run Spark of Shock on arc builds. It is the most important probable fragment for your grenade is to use Spark of Shock. Now we're going to look at the melt there. I know it was bolt charge, but it was also a bit of synergize with Deterministic, because Deterministic is having fantastic synergy with bolt charge. It really, really is. All Void weapons are, but honestly, I wish Lightblade was up this season. I don't believe it is it? But if it was, I would just show you how damn good it is on barrier champs. We'll see it next week. You'll end up seeing the gameplay next week when we get some barrier champs in the mix. Alright, Rifts closed 50%, Ogres spawn in, we want to jolt them and we want to DPS with Cranium. Look, we'll also get a barricade down, get our health up, get ball charge ready, boom, jolt goes in, then we use Cranium, melt 3 Ogres, we've got a Meteor Ogre, that's rare. He can be a drain one as well, just melt him down, be careful though of course. And then that's it. We don't even need to clear these ads. Let's do an ammo check. Max Tenacious, almost max on Deterministic. The ammo economy on the gun's really good. That's why I'm actually quite wasteful with the gun in this. I was actually kind of like not caring about ammo. You know, is there a heavy ammo crate over there? I don't know. I didn't even check. You know why? Because I'm not confident in the gun in terms of ammo per mag. Yeah, it's only got that 48 mag. But that in combination with bolt charge is going to do a hell of a lot of damage for us in this. There's ammo crate in mid. There we go, I've just noticed it. Oh, pick up a fresh relic before you go up in the elevator. These Thrall were going up the elevator. I was really worried about it because I was like, wait, what? No, they're not coming to me with the boss, are they? Because if they do, they will mess up my pathing on the boss AI manipulations. But they didn't. Look at that. They're in the elevator with me. But they're going to float down. So I was like, what? Are they coming up here? No, they didn't. Okay, so for boss damage, we're literally going to do this in, 10, 12 minutes? So it isn't going to be much of a long run for this. Okay, this is where we stand. We've stood here all week. You should know this strategy by now. I've explained it 4 times. I don't think you need a 5th explanation. Just know that the boss cannot track your AI path or your position right now. He doesn't know where you are. We need to get a jolt down and we're going to get a barricade down and we're going to use Cranium. If you're under level, this is exactly what you need to do. Now, I'm getting bad luck here with the Cranium. I'm not getting as much ad clear as what I would have liked. Unstop is about to push and we're now in a bad position. So now what I'm going to do is use Super. I'm going to try and stun the unstop, which we don't. Look at how good he was there, knocking me back. So yeah, we use a Fist of Havoc here. This is exactly why we've got it on, because it would clear the entire room for you if you were low level. This is the difficulty on this phase 1, is getting the adds down. Well, Fist of Havoc will help you do that. And if Fist of Havoc doesn't help you do it, your ball charges will. All adds are clear now. Look at the stun. It's difficult. Look at how hard it is to stun the unstop. This is exactly what I was saying. So both Tenacious Mastery and Rake Angle are not going to be as good for you on unstoppable champions that are taken. The reason being is because you can't get the stun on them as consistent, because their damn taken shield is so big. So, having done this run, I can tell you that a Riptide shield clip is better for taking unstops. But what I will also say is that I also think Tenacious is better on overloads than what Riptide is. It's just quicker, I think, overall, on the moment-to-moment gameplay. So you've got to decide what's more of a problem to you, overloads or unstops. I would say for most people it's unstops now because of what's going on with them. But Tenacious still perform very well in this. I'm not trying to downplay it that much. Alright, look at this DPS. Now, we can stand up here. We can keep getting health regen. The boss is playing up. Not playing up, but he's actually playing to my cards. We've got barrier rounds in Vouchsafe, our Void Scout. Look at that, the damage. It's not just the damage we're doing with the Scout. It's the fact that we're getting Void detonations with Bolt Charge. Look at damage at the bottom. Look at this. This is so easy as a DPS strat. And Deterministic is so good at doing the damage for us, meaning that we don't have to wait for his damn shield. Got it? Look at the damage. Look at this strat. It's the absolute best strat. You could do this with Le Monarch as well. It would be the same synergy. But I think this is a little bit better than Le Monarch on this particular phase. Reason being is because of barrier rounds working on the boss with Deterministic Chaos. Alright, so the boss his crit has moved, but that's fine. We end up getting it. Look, we got barrier rounds. There we go. Look at that. Look at how quickly we just done phase 1 there. So quick. We've even got a super. We'll use it on this one. Right, I'm going to tell you a con to Fist of Havoc. Fist of Havoc, when you shoulder charge the targets, they jump up in the air. Look at this. That Minotaur was in the 60 dimension there in that blight. Did you see him there floating? What was that? What was that animation there? Yeah, Fist of Havoc has a weakness, and you know what the weakness is when you shoulder charge a target, a priority target, if that target does not die, the target gets knocked up in the air. I do not like that animation. Because what ends up happening is when you try and shoulder charge that target again in your super, it messes up the aim assist. It's a problem. So whilst Fist of Havoc has a lot of strengths, that's one of its weaknesses. Is that the target goes in the air, it does some sort of weird AI stuff. It's always done that as well. For a long... Well, not in 2017 it didn't, but it does now, and it has done for quite some time. A few years at least. So yeah, that was one weakness and one observation I had. But still, it was still really good to us in the run. I'm just explaining to you what can happen. Look at how good Void Holster is for me. I never reloaded Deterministic once in this run. If that doesn't demonstrate to you that this weapon has auto-load holster, then I don't know what will. That's simply by using a mod that costs 2 energy on your boots. See how it solves the exotic so quickly? Just by equip one mod, boom, your exotic now has auto-load holster. Pretty much in the sense that any other weapon would have auto-load holster, but it's just a little slower than that. But when you're in GMs, when you're doing damage in combat, you're not having your machine gun out the entire time. You do deterministic damage, then you use Tenacious, then you use Scout, then you go back to the machine gun, and it will be fully reloaded with 48 bullets. So do you see how the mag size is irrelevant now because of Void Holster? That mod is so OP. Any holster mods on the boots is so OP with machine guns. It's absolute the play when you're doing solo GMs. It's literally one of the best mods. And it only costs 2 energy. Alright, so we've left that Minotaur up because that confused the boss's AI pathing. We're going to do the same strat as what we did the last 4 or 5 runs. Same thing. We go to the Vex house. We go on the top of the house. That will then track the last location at the top of the house, not at the bottom of the house. Look at that. We can now initiate phase 2 positioning. Take down the final blight, have a pulse grenade ready, and put a barricade down. You're going to stun the overload with your grenade. Watch this. Stun overload with grenade, chill clip to Nash's. Look at how quick that is. That's actually quicker than Riptide. So, like I said, Tenacious has a bonus over Riptide, with it being better on overloads, but Riptide is better on unstops. Particularly taking unstops. That will not be the same case when we fight Hive unstops. It'll be different, alright? Because Hive unstops don't have any barriers. They are free to be stopped very easy. Okay? Just so that you know that. And also, Tenacious Mastery will not fear range drop-off, whereas Riptide will. So overall, Tenacious is going to be the better weapon over Riptide this season. By a couple of points, but only a couple. Alright, so now we've done our damage. Now we're just going to do some cranium damage. Really simple, really straightforward. You want to wait for that shield, get out, look at the damage. We're going to farm up super energy and we're going to have some fun and pop our super on him. Now, here's a conversation for you. Feast of Havoc does more damage based on velocity, based on height. Okay, are we aware of that? You can actually, you can exceedingly increase your damage on Fist of Havoc if you Fist of Havoc slam a boss from a distance, as in height-wise. It's got high ground. Fist of Havoc has high ground built into it. But what is the problem with that, everybody? The problem with it is that you cannot reliably proc the height perk on Fist of Havoc because there's no way to jump up high enough to proc it properly. So what I'm saying is, in order for people to Fist of Havoc bosses properly, they should give Fist of Havoc a jump buff, similar to Dares of Eternity, where you jump in the air really high. This would allow people to Fist of Havoc slam a boss from a height perspective. This would increase damage substantially, making it actually much better option than T-Crash. But the only way that would happen is if they buff it. They need to give it a height mobility jump buff on Fist of Havoc Slam. I hope it makes sense. If you play Dares of Eternity, you'll know what I'm on about. But they would need to make it faster than that. The jump would need to have you skyrocket up in the air and then Fist of Havoc Slam. You could add combinations. This is a way of updating Fist of Havoc to 2025 meta sandbox. But they would need to do that sooner rather than later. But Fist of Havoc's good. I'm just saying that the identity of the super is that you Fist of Havoc a boss from a distance or height, but there's no way to actually do that in-game properly. What I'm saying is they need to give us a way of doing that in the game, and that will solve it. Whereas that will make Fist of Havoc more of a PvE super as opposed to just being a PvP super, because a lot of people view Fist of Havoc as a PvP super, and that's not entirely true, but I see where they're coming from. Because, yeah, it is very good in PvP. It's probably better in PvP than it is PvE, but it does have some hidden secrets in PvE. That's what I've been telling you this week. I've been trying to demonstrate it to you, but I think people still don't believe me. Even when I show them the footage, they still don't want to believe me. I don't know why. If this was a court case, I would win, but it's not though, is it? Trying to change somebody's opinion in this game is very difficult. I've been finding that it's actually more difficult as time goes on. People just seem to be set in their ways. They won't change. I don't know why. I don't know why that exactly is. But trying to change people's mind is probably the most difficult thing right now in the game for me. Just trying to, tell them what to do. I find it's easier with new players. They seem to be more open-minded. It's the D2 vets that I'm having trouble with now. On everything. Weapon traits, misconceptions about Vorpal Weapon, misconceptions on Roman Supers, misconceptions on Super Armor and Resilience, misconceptions on what you actually should be doing in endgame for weapon archetypes and weapons that you should be looking at. D2 vets, I'm really struggling with you. I don't know what it is. You just seem to be really, really stuck in your way. Maybe you're pissed off at D2. I understand if you're pissed off at D2. You can be pissed off at D2. There's no problem with that. You have a right to be pissed off. I ain't going to tell you that you shouldn't be. It's a free world. You can be as pissed off as you want. But as a PvE vet, me telling you, I'm like testing these, you know, unique things, and I'm like giving you my feedback of what I've found. I would appreciate that you wouldn't discredit what I've found out, because I'm just trying to tell people what you can do and what's actually good. Especially like newer players. Newer players are more responsive. They're more likely to listen to me. I don't know. Maybe they've got more of a positive outlook overall as the newer players. I'm talking about, when I talk new players, I'm talking within 2 years. Anybody that hasn't played, anybody that started Lightfall, you're a new light to me. I consider you as a new light, as in somebody who has not mastered the game yet. Even 2 years, that's not mastery, that's still new light blueberry status, as far as how I categorize you as a player. Anybody who started in Beyond Light, alright, you're an expert more than likely. And anybody who's been playing longer than Beyond Light, you absolutely are definitely got to be an expert. But you seem to be stuck in your old ways as well. You're less likely to, you're more likely to argue about me, argue with me about something, which is fine, because I want you to do that. Because if there's no argument, if there's no conversation, then there's no point in me like having a discussion with you about stuff in the game. So I want to challenge your ideologies in the game about things. So if it offends your beliefs and things, that's exactly what I want to do. Some of you I can convert. Some of you are beyond conversion. Some of you just won't convert to, until there's massive changes with Destiny 2 Sandbox, until Apollo comes out. A lot of you aren't responsive until then, as in responsive to change. Until the game really, really changes is the point where people will start to listen to things, and that's going to take a while. Let's see how much Apollo really does change the game, because once it really does, that's when actually vets will be put into a place where like, oh, I actually do need help now. What's happening with the game now? How does this new enemy type work? How does this new weapon type work that we're getting in Apollo, if we do get one, for example? How does this work? How does that work? I'm talking day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4 stuff, where things are brand new, alright? Whereas nothing in the game's fully brand new. Bolt charges are. Bolt charges are brand new, but I've made plenty of videos about bolt charges. So the video information's out there for you. As you can see, final phase is really easy. It's actually the easiest now, because all you're doing is DPSing with the cranium. That's all you're doing. So, you know, it actually doesn't matter about ammo capacity on the final phase. Like, I've still got 200 bullets, but I can't use them. Because it's final phase. You just want to cranium down. The cranium is that much damage that you just use the cranium look. But honestly, I will say that Deterministic was fantastic for DPS in this boss. It was really fun. Just the fact that it's penetrating his shield was so good. So I've showed you a few strats. Izanagi's Burn, Retrofit Escapade, now Deterministic Chaos way of damaging this boss to make life easier for you. Hope you enjoy. Thank you.